Hello, and welcome to episode 5.5 of Gamers Assemble, the gaming podcast you didn't know you needed in your life, but you definitely do. Why episode 5.5, you say? We don't talk about that. Today, we'll be trying our hand again at a live episode and remembering to record it on time. And to make it extra special, we've got the entire cast here tonight. And following the show, we'll also be doing some live streaming of the game whose name I always forget, Among Us. That's it.
That's the one.
That's the one. We'll be doing some live streaming of that, which should be good for some giggles. I am Llama, and I'll be your host for tonight. So please return all seats and tray tables to a full and upright position while I introduce our fabulous cast for tonight's show. First up, we have Beardy.
Hello.
And we've also got the fabulous Batuist.
Hello.
Followed by Inara, the queen of e-gaming.
Hey, how's it going?
We've also got the super gorgeous Sniff.
Hello.
And Tiggs, the one who never stops smiling.
Yeah.
We're here, guys. We're here.
That's our cast. And tonight's episode is the game of the generation. So each cast member will say what game is really their favorite for this generation of consoles and PCs. And they can share up to 2 runners-up because we know picking shit is hard. Let's be honest.
For real.
As I said, we're live this week. That means there's no edits and all of the outtakes. And we've also not done really any prep for this. So we have no idea what each other's picking. We don't know what we're going to say. Shit could get real. So that's that.
It will. It always does with us, Lord. It always gets real.
Right?
Yeah.
We are, as I said, we're live on Twitch. So feel free to comment or chat. And we'll be monitoring those. And any of the really good ones, we might give a shout out on the show a bit later. We are also... we are also on Twitter and Instagram, so feel free to give us a follow there and share the love. You can find us by searching Gaymers Assemble, that's Gaymers, because we're super duper gay. All right, gamers, that's our intros and housekeeping done.
Oh, we've lost Tanara.
Aww. Okay.
No, I'm here.
she's
I'm
back.
here.
She's
Just
back.
baby time.
Oh,
Right,
Baby.
okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yep, baby.
Okay.
So we're live. How's everybody doing tonight? We excited? Or today?
Good.
I guess it's early in the US.
Yeah, it's like noon 30 in the US.
Yeah. I am
Oh.
super excited to find out what you guys have picked, and we've got Cloud here as well. He wants to be in on the action, so yeah.
I always love a bit of pussy action.
You might get a lot tonight, girl.
Oh goodness.
I meant cats, obviously. Okay, so before we delve any further down that rabbit hole and we get chucked out for being an X-rated podcast,
Move on.
first
Move on.
burning question of the night is, what have y'all been playing? Sif, let's start with you. What have you been playing this week?
Oh, okay. I've been playing Spellbreak with Tiggs. We've been playing some of that, which it's a lot of fun. I love it. I'm kind of addicted to it now. I think this is one of my go-to multiplayer games at the moment. I love the ice power in that game. Ice is my favorite. Just because I can snipe people.
Is this
I was
the one
gonna
we
go
talked
for it.
about last week with the ignitable fart clouds?
Yes,
Yeah.
we've done that. We have done that.
Oh, I do want to play just to see that.
Please
if nothing else, I
play.
just want to ignite a fart cloud.
Play with us, please.
Yeah,
All right, I'll play with you.
Yay!
it's free. You don't lose nothing out on it.
Girl,
Yeah.
I love the price of free.
Girl, we went shopping last night and we got all the stuff. We were like, oh, we're just gonna go. Oh, there's some cute armor. Let's have some of that.
And hiding behind the cobblestone fence.
I so wish we streamed that. That was amazing.
I was
maybe
gonna
we'll
save
stream
it,
that
but I
next
forgot.
time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've been playing that, and I've been playing Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning.
Oh. I'm
That
really
one's a lot-
happy to hear you say that. That's such
Yeah,
a
it's-
good game.
It's so underrated. It's like WoW without the MMO.
Yep, it
Basically.
definitely is, and I'm not just saying that because Big Huge Game is my uncle's company.
Ooh.
I love
They
it.
actually went bankrupt after that game came out because it
Aw.
wasn't appreciated as much. He recently bought the rights to the name back, but so they're making stuff again, but they kind of had to start over, and it makes me sad because that game could have been a big success for them if more people had paid attention to it. It's super good.
It's very good. I'm loving it. I can't wait for the expansion that comes out next year, which is exciting for me.
Oh, and is that one exclusive to Xbox or is that one across platform?
Across platforms, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's all systems: PC, PS4, Xbox, and I think that's it.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
not Switch. I don't think Switch has it.
I've seen it. It's
Nope.
on Game Pass at the moment. If you're a Game Pass member, you can.
It was
download for
originally
free.
like a last gen game. It got released for the 360 PS3 gen, and I guess this is a re-release,
Yeah.
like a remake. Yeah.
I might
Ooh,
check it out.
exciting.
Might check it out if it's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's good.
So Inara, tell us, what have you been playing?
A little bit of Overwatch, kind of like always. And I've been working my way through Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and trying not to cry every time it gets emotional because I want 100% it, not bawl my eyes out.
Oh.
It looks so good though. There were so many people before it came out who were talking about how like it could be bad based on like performance of the Switch and yada yada. The resolution drops really low in handheld mode, so just don't play it in handheld mode. Play it on the TV. They remade everything from the ground up. New textures, new character models. They fixed the quest system, so now like it gives you little markers where you can find stuff instead of you having to like for the item pickup quest just wander around until you hopefully found things, and it took forever. It actually tells you what like materials you need for the Colony 6 rebuild side quest, which is great because that was a nightmare to track back in the day. Thanks to Operation Rainfall back in the day for us even getting the game in the first place, because Nintendo didn't want to release it here at all. They were just going to leave it
Oh.
Japanese exclusive. And a bunch of people went, hey, but we would like to play this game, and that's when they localized it with like all UK voice actors. And now it's one of Nintendo's like bigger RPG franchises because it's had 2 sequels. So
Yeah.
Nintendo was about to make a grave error if they hadn't released it over here.
Danger,
Because
Will
that-
Robinson, danger.
Yeah, sorry about the lack of video. I got a baby in my lap.
That's okay.
Oh, that's
Totally
fine.
fine.
Babies exist. It's fine. You need to look after them, like little Tamagotchis.
You know. Yeah, except, I hope I'm not as bad at looking after my son as I was at Tamagotchis, because mine always died.
Oh, girl, I was terrible at them. Always just resetting it. Like, this one's trashed. Reset it. Can't do that one.
You know, they have new Tamagotchis now. You can actually order and buy. There's like a whole new generation that they made of them. Like it's still
Yep.
the little thing, the little like item thing that you have with the screen.
Yeah, I have one. My last one died. I haven't reset it to get a new one yet.
I love my Tamagotchi.
My baby brother had like 8 of them. I think he was a bit obsessed, but he would go to school and he'd leave them with me to babysit, and they would inevitably like be half dead by the time he got home because I would feed one too much. I wouldn't feed the others. I'd forget who'd had food. It was terrible. It's terrible.
It's so funny because nowadays kids have their phones confiscated, but whenever I was at school, we didn't have phones. We had Tamagotchis. You had your Tamagotchi
Yeah, that's what I'm
confiscated.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And when I did finally get a phone, it was like one of those brick flip phones that didn't have texting that like was given to me just so I could call my parents if I needed them. Like
We're
that's what it
old
was for.
school.
I love those.
We should
old
call this the
phones.
old school gamers podcast.
And remember Snake as well. Oh,
I remember Snake.
Oh yeah, sorry, my
The
brain
very
went straight to
beginning
the
of
meme.
texting, where you had to just hit the button repeatedly to get the letter you wanted.
T9
And if you
texting.
accidentally opened the internet, you'd freak out because it costs so much money.
There goes
Yeah,
my
that
top up
was
for the week.
slow.
yes, I remember that.
Oh, Tiggs, what have you been playing?
So I was playing with Sif last night. at Spellbreak, and I've also tried. So I got Thimbleweed Park.
What?
Thimbleweed Park. Is this an Irish to any other version of the English language translation
No, I
thing?
just had no idea what you said. I
Oh,
thought
right,
you said
okay.
I don't know what I thought you said. Fuck it.
Thimbleweed Park. So I didn't realize it was a point-and-click adventure. I've not played one of them since I was like about
Oh,
this
God.
tiny
Like
guy.
Myst.
Oh, right. Okay. So it sort of like if you watch the trailer for it, it looks all Mulder and Scully, like you're solving a murder and everything. And I was so excited to play it. And the first night I was like, right, okay, fine. I played maybe 3 or 4 hours. Then the second night I was just like, oh my god, this is losing momentum. I am bored. Like the character interactions are really good and some of the things you can say to one another, but maybe it's just my brain is not wired for point and click those sorts of games, because I was seriously losing attention. I was like, oh, but I want to see how it turns out, but do I want to see it that much?
Yeah.
Nah, girl. I'll just read some spoilers.
It seems
Just
those
watch
type
the
of
walkthrough.
those type of point and clips or click games are so cute, and the storyline's all great, and then after like 30 minutes, hour to it, you're like, this is pretty slow, and I don't really know where it's going.
Infuriating, absolutely infuriating, and it's like it's just not obvious. And yeah, I think I've only ever played a few of them whenever I was a kid, so my brain isn't hardwired for them. I think if you played lots of them, it'd be a really enjoyable game, but I did give it a go, and then just some Spellbreak.
There was a really good one on Game Pass a while ago. It might still be on there. I think it was called Oxenfree. And that was
That
a
one's
point and
good.
click adventure, but the story
Oxenfree
was
is
really
so
good.
good.
Yeah,
So
and it had
good.
LGBT themes and like mystery and suspense, and it was surprising how good it was. I was surprised when I played it because I haven't really played a point adventure since Myst on the PC back in the day.
Oh, I remember Myst.
Yeah, I remember Myst. I remember hating Myst a whole lot.
Oh, it's fucking
Yeah.
puzzle.
I was a fan of the Monkey Island games personally when it came to point and click adventures. Monkey Island's great with Guybrush Threepwood.
There's an interesting point and click for mobile games called The Room, which is kind of you go into like this big house and you have to like figure out puzzles in the room to be able to get to the next room. It's pretty cool.
Not
Okay.
like that's not like We Were Here, was it? Because that was shockingly bad. I was so excited. Another game I was really excited to play. When I played it, I was like, "You are joking."
So yeah, point and click. That's hit or miss. Point or click.
Oh,
Right? I think that joke only made sense in my head. Just roll with it. It's fine. Bot, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing a bit of Spellbreak also. Starting to get used to Among Us and try it out a little bit. In fact, looking forward to playing it a little bit later. Most recently, though, me and a couple friends have been playing on my buddy's Minecraft server that he just re-released. He did a bunch of new updates to it and stuff. I'll give him a plug. It's play.azeriamc.com for Azeria. It's a really cool multiplayer server on Minecraft. They have put a ton of work into it. All the buildings look fantastic. It's Azeira, I think. Azeria? No, Azeria. Yeah. But anyway, it's anybody wants to try an online Minecraft experience. It's a lot of fun. So that's been good. Just building stuff with people. Spellbreak is a blast. I suck at it. My friend Hecto and I, we joke about the fact that the entire game, all we're doing is collecting items to then bring to some other player. And it's the service that we're doing, So we spend 15 minutes collecting all the best gear, and then right away some other player kills us and takes us. So, I mean, we're really good at that part of the game. And
Just, like, handing stuff out.
Yep, yep. That phase of the game I'm great at. But, you play it long enough, you start to actually get some kills, and you get a little bit better and a little bit higher ranking in the game. So, it's fun, but it takes some time.
Oh, I tried Minecraft once. I did the I think the noob mistake of just digging straight down
Yep,
to see what
yep.
would happen, and then being stuck, and then spending like an hour trying to get out of the hole. And then I accidentally killed a llama or an alpaca, which of course made me feel terrible, so I quit.
Yeah, yep. That does happen. That is a very common Minecraft first experience. Is you're like, oh, I'm gonna dig the ground up. Oh, I'm in a hole. How do I get out of the hole? And then it's nighttime, and then you die, and then after that, you're like, this game is confusing, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to play.
Terrible, and I hate it.
Yep,
and you killed one of your people as well.
I know. I was
Yeah.
really sad about killing the little llama thing. It had a little festive like necklace harness thing on. And
Oh,
that
was probably one of the the wandering trader llamas or whatever. And the problem is if you hit one of the llamas by accident, they start attacking you by spitting at you.
Oh.
So.
Oh.
Yep.
I mean, llamas in real life spit, so I guess it's
Yep.
accurate to real life.
Pretty much.
I only spit under
Who'd have
duress.
thought Minecraft would be going for real life accuracy?
I have
Actually-
been spat on by a llama in real life once, so that was fun.
It's
Nice. It
amazing
wasn't
how
me.
yeah. It's amazing how realistic Minecraft and how literal it can be sometimes when you're playing. I don't know. I got started when playing it when I used to do therapy with kids, and one of the kids that I was doing therapy with loved the game, and it was the best way for me to be able to learn how to connect with him. And I actually found him an online server that was ran by parents, so he could have an online experience that had other kids with some special needs and such, and he didn't have to worry about a bunch of trolls or anybody being real jerks, and the parents kind of kept an eye on the server to make sure everything was good. And no, it's not Fallout, so it wouldn't be you wouldn't be griefing.
If there's grief
Llama still
happening,
be
it's
there,
me.
like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grief you. I'm gonna dig a fucking hole
Yeah.
into you and make you stick there, like
Gonna push you in it.
Push
get a
you in
llama
there.
to spit at you.
So after working with the kid on the game, I tried to resist liking it, but then I just ended up liking it, and a lot of friends on it. A year or two ago, my friend Hector and I played on a server that was called an anarchy server, where basically anything goes. So you can kill other players, you can blow up their base, you can rob them, you can trick them. Like you can be like, hey, come to my base, we'll be friends, and then just kill them. And yeah. So that kind of got me into it. It can be a really adult game if you go to the right spots. So
Llama, you've got your new game.
Over this.
Maybe that's what I need to play. Yeah, just take some
I
notes
think
over
that's
here.
the beauty of Minecraft, though, is it's kind of whatever you make of it.
yeah, it's a great sandbox game. You know, it's whatever you want to play. I mean, and there are servers to play anything you want to do. There are ones where they've completely redone Mario Kart inside of Minecraft, and you play it. They've redone first-person shooters in Minecraft, and you can play it. There's ones where it's just
there's an
creative
Overwatch
mode.
server.
Yep,
There's an
you can-
Overwatch server. It's amazing. It's better
You
than
can-
actual Overwatch. It's balanced better.
And you can, for people who don't want to interact with other players, you can just play creative mode and just build houses and stuff. You know, so
Or dig a giant hole.
yeah.
Full of
I
spitting.
mean,
Pretty
my
much.
whole
I
digging
built a
experience was A+.
Hogwarts replica once. That was fun. And it took me like 3 weeks.
Yeah, my attention span's not that long.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So we've got Minecraft under our belts now. Beardy, what you been playing? You been on Minecraft?
No. I'm afraid not. This week I've been playing a little bit of Spellbreak.
It's a theme here.
Just like
Yeah.
everybody else. 'Cause
We're not sponsored.
We're so fucking basic. No, I'm joking.
But if they do want to sponsor us,
We're not
just get a hold
sponsored,
of
but
Beardy.
Yeah.
but you
Just let me
totally could. We'd be
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
with that.
I would totally wear sponsored shirts. Just give us a shout out. You know.
But yeah, no, I played a little bit of that. I'm not one for the old battle royales. If anyone knows my experience with Fortnite, it was about 30 seconds long, and I've never been there since. Same for Apex Legends, same for Call of Duty Warzone, same for every other kind of battle royale that comes out free, and I'm like, that might be fun. And then I get into it, and I'm like, this is not fucking fun. I don't like it.
This is terrible.
Spoiler: it was a lie.
Yeah, but Spellbreak, it's kind of got me. I'm really enjoying it, and I actually won my first match, which I think is very
Ooh,
important.
look at you, Mr.
Yeah,
Fancy
yeah.
Pants.
Yeah.
I got the skills.
Yeah.
So I've been
You
playing a
go
little bit of that.
Trojan.
I've also been working on my lifelong national decks.
Oh god.
mission to get
Oh,
every
God,
single
I wish
freaking
you luck.
Pokemon. So I've been playing.
Are you a shiny hunter?
No, I'm not a shiny hunter. I do a little shiny breeding on the side, but shinies just come and go. I'm not really that bothered about them. So I'm replaying.
this
through
Good, because
Hold
shiny
forward,
hunting is
right?
stressful.
Hmm?
It is
Shiny
stressful.
hunting is really stressful.
Yeah, it is really stressful. And what else have I been playing? Oh, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII on Switch, the original version, because I didn't actually get around to playing it all those years ago. I played 8, but not 7, so I thought I'd give the original a go before I potentially get the remake.
Yes, the remake. Yes, the remake.
The remake is so good.
Yeah.
How are you finding the original so far?
I played probably about half an hour. I picked it up and I was playing. I got down to the bit where you're supposed to set a bomb or something.
Bomber mission, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I set the bomb, and then the big crab thing came to get me.
Yeah.
Big crab robot. Big crab robot used its shiny laser stinger to get me. I died, and then I was like, nah, I probably should go to bed. So I went to bed. But I'm gonna come back to it.
It's hard being an old gamer.
Yeah.
Great starting music as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so far it's been my favorite intro to a Final Fantasy. It just
It's
seems to get
fabulous.
straight to it, and I appreciate that about a game. So yeah,
It's 7 you're playing? The new one?
7.
Or the new remaster of 7?
No, it's the original. So it's the Switch remake or remaster of the original PS1. I think it was just on PS1.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
it's the PC port.
Yeah.
That's then ported to Switch.
Yeah, that one. So I thought I'd give that a play through before I decide whether I'm going to pick up the new remaster. And what else have I been playing? I've also been playing a game called Amazon Pre-Order the PS5. That's been lots of fun. You hit a little refresh.
Oh yeah, nope.
No
It's
luck.
Hit a
like
little
sold out
refresh button.
everywhere.
Yeah. You do a little refresh.
So, I
here
know
and
what
a little
happened with
refresh
that.
there.
I know what happened with that. So apparently Walmart broke the street date, and that's why the pre-orders went up so fast.
Well,
Hmm.
that doesn't
Well, the
surprise me.
pre-orders weren't supposed to start until the next day, and Walmart in the U.S. decided they were just gonna start pre-ordering them anyway.
Yeah, we had the same thing with Game.
So then
in the
everyone
UK.
followed.
With Game in the
Everyone
U-
followed.
Yeah, with Game in the UK, it was like pre-orders are up, like all over Twitter. So everyone was just flooded Game. You couldn't get on there. The site was crashing. It was just a bit of a dumpster fire. But yeah, I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
my
no, they're
time
sold out
playing that
everywhere.
game. But I managed
Yeah,
to get one.
I'm enjoying my time playing that game. You managed to get one?
Yeah, I did.
I did not. I'm very sad about it.
Oh. Bless. But I got mine, so.
Aw.
Sorry.
I'm waiting for my GameStop Connects to let me know that they have like more pre-orders up, so that I could just like speed down the highway there.
Yeah. Well, Sony's come out and said that they're going to put more units into the pre-order system this week, so hopefully that should sort it.
Hopefully, because they were super limited.
I think
They fully apologized as well. They said there's like a letter of apology, isn't there?
Mhm.
We know it didn't
Oh.
go so great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time. I don't know if anyone follows Alana Pierce at all, but she sent out
Yeah.
a tweet saying, like, this is the first time she can remember in PlayStation's history where they've come out and actually like apologize for something, which is very true and very welcome at the same time. But I think the whole pre-order fiasco really boils down to the fact that obviously Microsoft's pricing leaked, and Sony just wanted to beat them to pre-order and to market, and I think they just maybe ran a little too fast with that and didn't quite send out all the information. So
It's tough, isn't it? Because it's a tough old world out there. But
to be
yeah,
fair,
I haven't pre-ordered mine yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be any different when the Xbox pre-orders go up, because this time it's just going to be an actual time where everybody's going to be waiting. So there's still going to be hundreds of thousands of people trying to pre-order their shit. It's just that on this occasion they're going to be sat there waiting for it.
I mean,
When's
it
the new
doesn't help
Xbox?
that They just announced it in a tweet instead
Yeah.
of at their like expo. It was just like the tweet. Oh yeah, pre-orders are live. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
When is the Xbox pre-order supposed to be coming online?
22nd
Any
of
idea?
September, and I think it's 8 a.m. for the majority of places. local
Oh,
time.
good. All right.
And
I need to
9 p.m. in like Europe and the Middle East or something. I did put a thing up on our Instagram, so go check that out if you want to know all your deets for your pre-orders.
Yeah, I gotta
Yeets.
figure out how to get the pre-orders so I can get them all ready to resell on eBay.
Oh no, you're not that
No.
guy.
No, I'm
Don't be
not. But
that
I want to
guy.
be that. I want to be that guy
Don't be a
because
scalper.
that's.
We don't condone that on this show.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but it is quite easy for people to flip those. But realistically, if you don't have one of those bots that are scraping the pre-orders, it's really hard to get one. And
Yeah.
so
Just very quickly, Vegas_double who's watching on Twitch says hello, and Mike MKE_BTS is talking about the pre-order fiasco and is trying to find one. Bless them.
Hi guys, hi.
We wish you
Yes.
luck.
Oh, like the band.
Godspeed to
Yes.
the PS5.
It is gonna
BTS
be.
fan.
It is gonna be worse than finding a Switch when the pandemic started. Agreed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I already had one. Bye, bitches.
Oh man. So for my game, I'm still really sad because they've done another patch for Fallout 76, which I was hoping would fix the last shit patch, and it's made it worse. Although there is apparently some sort of bug with the game, another bug with the game, where if you put a certain legendary team perk card on, then you can instantly turn someone aggro and then just kill them. So you can grief the shit out of yourself or a teammate, but that's it. Like, you can't grief people anymore still. So it's terrible, more terrible than normal. I've not been playing. But I have been playing the DLC for Outer Worlds, Peril on Gorgon. And I finished it last night. Oh my god, it was so good. I really liked it. It's Obsidian, so their story's great, the dialogue's great. Yeah, it's super good.
That's one of my unfortunate backlog games I haven't even played yet. So
honestly, it's a good game. Like, it's not open world. It's a little it's a little regimented as to where you can go and but they make the story so immersive that you kind of don't really notice too much. There are some times when you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't want to walk all the way over there just to kill that one guy and walk all the way back. There's no fast travel point. But thankfully that doesn't happen too often. And the new DLC is a really good sort of secondary main mission to whet your appetite on stuff. So I really enjoyed that. That's what I've been playing. I tried playing Among Us. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get it. Like, I kept wandering around, and it was like, do some tasks. So I poked stuff, and it was like, I don't know what I was doing, and I couldn't figure out what was happening. I kept hiding in a box randomly.
So hang on, let me get this right. All you guys, apart from me and Ara, have tried it, and we haven't.
I've not
Oh
played
my.
it.
Well,
All right, okay.
I had 30 seconds in this game.
That's 30 seconds more than me, girl.
same.
That's what he said.
Yeah, Spirity. Yeah.
And here we go back down the toilet.
Beating up my microphone. Sorry about that.
Beardy's broke his pop filter. Everyone, say a word of regret. Cool. So, that's what we've been playing. Now, on to the super important topic of the podcast, which is, what is the game of this generation? Now, I'm not going to lie, I misunderstood the question, didn't realize I misunderstood the question, and then just went off on my own direction as normal. So I might steal all your answers. We'll see. Let's start with Tiggs. Tiggs, what do you reckon is the game of this generation?
So this was quite possibly the hardest question I think I have ever been asked. But for me, it's Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
So
it's a good game to choose.
I've got two honorable mentions at the end, but let's talk
Okay.
about Breath of the Wild for a second. There is a bit of a story about Breath of the Wild.
Go
So
on, then.
I saw all the trailers for Breath of the Wild, and then I saw a bit of the gameplay trailer, and I was like, girl, that is not a Zelda game. I'm not getting a Switch. Fuck Nintendo. Fuck them right in the ear. Fuck them.
Fuck you in your eye.
Yeah.
Right,
You guys
your favorite ear.
You guys are asshats. Why have you ruined this? I ain't going to want to play that. I fucking hate sandbox games, blah, 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 blah. So I went off, and I wasn't very zen back then, you see. I'm a bit more zen now.
Yeah.
I went off in a little rant about this to anybody that would listen, going, they have totally fucked this up. And someone I know got a Switch and got Zelda because they knew I really liked it, and said, here, give it a go. And I was like, I'm not going to like this. I'm going to fucking hate it. Blah, 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 blah. Like, seriously, literally just handed me a Switch to play it. And I'm like,
shut the fuck up and try it.
Yeah. Oh, God. I was...
Spoiler, he didn't hate it.
Man.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Like, get this shit away from me. Oh.
These, I can chop down a tree?
That's exactly. Oh, yeah.
That was what did it for me, was I chopped down a tree. I was like, I can chop down all these trees if I want? Okay, cool.
Oh, God. There's a playing with wood joke in there somewhere, but we'll just leave that for the moment.
I think we're only allowed so many porn jokes before we get into
Yeah, somebody that's played like not enough of Breath of the Wild. I didn't know you could chop down trees.
Oh, Beardy, what?
Yo, I didn't know you could ride a deer. I remember, like, a friend, like, trying to explain to me that one, it's, like, for a shrine puzzle, like, where Cass does the little song or whatever. And I was trying to figure out what to do. I thought maybe I had to, like, fight a skeleton monster or something. It's like find, like, with crown of bone and mount him upon his throne or whatever. And I was like, oh, maybe I have to fight a skeleton monster. My friend was like, why don't you just ride a deer over there? And I was like, you can ride it.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You can, and you can ride, like, the king of the forest. He's amazing, or whatever you call him. That
There's
weird,
definitely
that
joke
weird
in there.
celestial deer thing.
It's cool.
Yeah. And, like, the moblins, like, pick up bokoblins and, like, throw them at you. Like, okay.
The game is amazing. So I got it, started playing, and this is way before Nintendo had cloud saves. And I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to have to buy a Switch now and buy Zelda. And they were like, no, just play it on there. No. My save game. My...
I'm not advancing your game, goddammit.
My save game. I'm all, like, territorial about it and everything. And why I think it's a game of the season, this generation, is because... I was really ready to fucking hate that game. Nintendo made some very brave choices in what they did there, because it put historical fans into a situation where they were going to get something totally different, and it was a bit scary. I was that person. And whenever I started playing it, I think I was going to Kakariki Village for about a month, right? And that it ain't that far, but the beauty of it is whenever you get out of your training wheels stage, you can literally go anywhere, absolutely anywhere. So I was like, oh my God, that mountain looks really cool. I'm going to go up that mountain. And so I come in from work in the evening and be like, have tea and stuff, like, yeah, I'm going to go play some Zelda. It's all good. 3 or 4 hours later, I have climbed 4 mountains and done no storyline. I found some little Dooku seeds, and I feel like I'm the king of the world, and it's flying down. The sense of sheer wonder and adventure, and like every moment I played it felt magical, and it was just such a... Like, honestly, it blew my mind whenever I played that game. I couldn't believe it. And what they'd done with the storyline and everything with Calamity Ganon and it being 100 years later, and just how they did it and how they had bits of Hyrule there. Like, you could see the Temple of Time. There was all these nods back to all the previous games. And later on, you could get the gear from those games to make you look like you're in those games or whatever, these legendary items. It was just such a beautiful, stunning looking game, and the gameplay was fabulous, and you could cook. Oh, that was one of the things I saw in the trailer, this cooking thing, and I was like, he didn't cook anything, he had a fucking health potion. I mean, seriously, who's going to spend time doing that? before I knew it, whenever I worked out how to cook, I was like, oh, I'm going to make a stamina potion. Oh my god, I've got extra hearts. All hearts. I love it. I know. Oh my
It's
god.
like the interplay of mechanics too. Like everything is woven together so well. Some of the enemies are smart enough to throw bombs back at you, and
Yes.
it's so good.
It was amazing. So that is my game of the generation. I've got 2 runners up though.
Ooh, give us one.
Death Stranding.
Yes.
Phenomenal game. Phenomenal. You need to play it. It will change your life. As long as you don't mind being an Amazon delivery person for a bit, but the storyline is on point. It is on point. And the other one would have to be God of War, which I just completed recently, and that also blew my mind. It was brilliant. Great storyline. A few amazing twists that I'm not going to spoil for you. If you've not played it, you don't need to play any of the others. Play it. You're welcome. Enjoy.
Excellent.
God
Ooh,
of
those
War is a
sound
good
exciting. Yeah, was it Kratos? He was gonna run your bath last week. How did that go?
Yeah.
Oh, it was lovely. We had a nice time. He put some candles out, and it was so
Oh.
nice. He's such a
Oh.
sweetheart, so he is. He's awesome.
Your
Best
bath's ready,
date
boy.
ever.
Oh. Those are some really strong picks. I like that.
Yeah.
Death Stranding's
should we follow
on Death Stranding's on PC. It looks like, so I might have to try that out. I've been looking for a good high graphics game to try my new computer out on.
Oh, it is stunning. And Norman Reedus and the whole cast in that game are phenomenal. They're so
check it
good.
out.
Yeah, really good.
I'll wait until Steam puts it on sale, then I'll pick it up.
Oh yeah, it will be on
Always
Steam.
on sale.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Kojima's just an absolute nut job mastermind when it comes to video games and story and stuff anyway, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I do think that has to be one of this generation because of the whole backdrop as well, because Kojima was working in Silent Hill with Norman Reedus, and then something happened, there's a big falling out, and he was like, well, fuck you guys, I'm going to go and make the game that I wanted to make, a game I've always wanted to make, and he went and made Death Stranding, and no one was really sure what it was about. And the more you get into the storyline, the more
It's 2020.
you get so involved. It feels like it is 2020. Whenever we went into lockdown, I was like, oh my god, did he know? Did he
take care of
Lost
He's
your
a
daughter.
madman. I wouldn't put it past him.
Death Stranding is the story of the PS5 pre-order Amazon guy taking out the deliveries.
That poor guy.
Aww.
Poor guy. But yeah, I would recommend checking out those 3 games. And BB's amazing. You know, Bridge BB comes around with you.
Yeah,
I want
the Babby.
BB.
Aw, Sif, what are your picks? What do you think are the games of the generation? Because I'm
God.
struggling. Takes out some strong ones.
I struggled too. I couldn't decide on a bunch of them, like a lot of them. I was like, oh, that was a good game. This one was a good game too. Oh, but only 3 picks. So as my generation game, I chose Sekiro. Just because I loved like Soulsborne and all that stuff, but I think Sekiro did something more different compared to like the other Souls games. But yeah, like you're like in medieval Japan, which I love. I love the medieval times. I love Japan history, so all that was fun. You get to be a ninja, so like you get to use a lot of prosthetics because his arm gets cut off, and you get to like go save the prince, I guess, the little prince.
You're a one-armed ninja?
You get a prosthetic, like an
Is
arm.
it a cool one?
It's cool, yeah, and you can change it around as well. So
Yes.
so there's a lot of variety in that game, in my opinion. It's hard, like I struggled a lot with I think this was the hardest Souls type of game like
Ooh.
that I've played. But the story's good, the characters, once you beat that boss, it's so satisfying. Like just being at the top of the world and beating them up. And some of the bosses
Beating
are
them up.
disgusting. Yeah, because my god, some of the bosses, you have to fight like 2 gorillas at a at the same time, which like one of them throws poop at you and the other one is, I think, just kind of like blind. But
That sounds terrible.
yeah.
Soulsborne games are like it's the games that they've got everything in them that I should really love. So it's like RPG mechanics, a little bit of like hack and slash, a little bit of parrying, all that kind of stuff. But fuck me, they're too difficult. No. No. I want to love them, but I can't.
I don't know. I just loved it, and I'm kind of biased toward Japanese history or medieval times. Like I love those type of games, and I think it did it differently. But it was kind of hard to pick because my other 2 choices were Bloodborne and Persona 5. Bloodborne because it also did something different with like kind of like HP Lovecraft inspired and all the crazy ugly looking bosses, and the music is amazing. There's also variety, but it's more Dark Souls like, if that makes sense. It doesn't really do much different in the combat, whereas Sekiro does, in my opinion. And then Persona 5, amazing. Just a great JRPG. It's a very long one, but it's worth the trip, in my opinion. And
I like it long.
100% worth it. 100% worth it.
Isn't it like 120 hours plus? Like
yes, it is. Yes,
if you don't try to do everything, the shortest playthrough you can get out of it, I think, is like 80 hours.
Oh no, not for me, girl. That's too long.
It's so good though. It's worth it. Trust me.
If I didn't have work to do, yes, fine. I have to.
I'm sure I've seen this exact exchange on Grindr.
What?
What you mean, girl? What you mean?
God damn it, Tiggs.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good. Both of them, Bloodborne and Persona, they're good too, but they're my second picks, and Sekiro is my number 1 for this generation.
Oh, I might have to give it a try. I've not done that one.
It's difficult.
Yeah, that's also not for me.
I'm gonna last like 30 seconds. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I love gaming. I'm also simultaneously terrible at gaming.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mony, chili beans, and macaroni. Bot.
Well, I guess my number 1 pick is probably going to be the newest of the Pokemon games on Switch, Pokemon Sword and Shield. They kind of got mixed reviews as far as how people like them. I like the games. A lot of people did not, but the reason why I think it's a game of this generation is it's the very first time in like over 20 years of Pokemon history where you actually have much more of an open world. You can kind of explore around as you want. There are some limitations, but it kind of brought all the old Pokemon games up into like the current generation. And when I was a kid, I used to love the old Pokemon Stadium games where you played it on like GameCube or N64 or something, and you could play with your Pokemon in a big arena. And it was so cool to see them come out of the Pokeball, but be their full size. And so Pokemon Sword and Shield kind of brought that back with a lot better graphics, a lot more different intricate things you can do and stuff like that. So I think it definitely was kind of an upgrade for that long series of games to this generation.
That first terrifying encounter with an Onyx that's like level 61 when you first enter the wild area, and you're like, I can take this down, and then you're like, absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm out.
And that was actually kind of neat because like when you play normal Pokemon games, they're pretty easy for the most part, unless you are absolutely terrible at the game. Just attack with the same starter Pokemon till they level up. Game over, pretty much. But when you fight that first Onyx in the play area, and it's literally much bigger than it's ever been in another game, you're like, oh, okay, that's going to be a problem. And then he just whoops your ass. So, but it's a lot of fun. I like that it's a little campy. I like that it's set in, it's supposed to be the England setting this time, or the UK setting this time, which is kind of cool. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. I actually got to pick it back up so I can try the DLC for it. But the other games, I would say my two runner-ups, also Switch game, would probably be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just because it's the newest generation of that game. It's the first one where they had the entire roster that you could have. It's definitely set itself in like fighting game esports history as being such a powerful franchise for it. And if you look back at the gaming history for Smash Brothers, I mean, these were people that would haul their GameCubes to events and put giant CRT TVs on like tables, and I mean the entire room would be filled with these old pre LED TVs, and they didn't care. They were just having a great time. And if you ever watch any of the streams of any of the people who play the game seriously, it's insane. I mean, like I can't even imagine half the stuff they do. So that's a really interesting game, and it actually seems to work pretty well for the Switch, even though it's a multiplayer one, though it's kind of hit or miss. I know Inara has strong feelings over there about multiplayer Switch games.
I just don't think that that's what the platform does best. I think that I played Overwatch a little bit on the Switch. I played a little bit of Fortnite on the Switch, and I just don't think that's where the Switch excels.
Yeah,
you can still do it. It works, but
it seems
it's not really like what the console was made to do. So
it seems like it works a lot better when you actually have your docking system hooked in via like a LAN cable, so that it's not over the Wi-Fi.
Like buy a whole adapter for that.
Yeah, it's like another $50 part or something like that. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, when the Switch came out, I don't know why they didn't just include it, but whatever. And my last game would probably be, and I cringe to say this, League of Legends. Because
now I have to think of a new one. Gosh dang it!
The first clash has occurred.
I think Inara and I probably follow esports more than a lot of the other people in the podcast, because for years, I didn't have a computer that could game, so I watched a lot of people play professional esports gaming, and I started with StarCraft 2. And StarCraft 2 was super huge in South Korea, and I used to watch tons of games. I kept up with all the professional teams and stuff like that, and it was a blast. Even though I sucked at the game and could never get above gold ranking or whatever. And that started esports, but I really think League of Legends is the game that brought esports into the forefront, where now colleges were actually sponsoring
like on a global scale too. Because like before, esports was really only like a Korean thing, Korean thing, and like small local tournaments and that sort of thing. But League made the idea of like superstar players like a big thing. Like so many people know who Faker is who have never even played League of Legends. They just know he's the best League player in the world and kind of a jerk.
But his mid is amazing, and literally he has godlike reflexes, and to watch him play,
the best League player on the planet. Just straight up.
He definitely deserves the title
without ever having played the game, because like League is what made things like Overwatch League even able to happen. You know, because people were suddenly taking esports a little more seriously, going, "Oh, we can totally we make money off of this. People actually will watch this."
Yeah, and it's like a lot of people know who Ninja is, even if they don't play Fortnite, and so League of Legends is a lot of fun. It was the first game that I really got into with a group of other people. We actually made a team, a local team. We even have shirts on it. My friend Hector, who might be lurking in the chat here, he was one of my other teammates on it. I played mid, he played top a lot, and so we actually went and tried to do a local college tournament, and we practiced for like months for it, and we just got absolutely trounced. Like, it was ridiculous how fast we were out, but it was a lot of fun. I don't recommend it for people who can't handle a little bit of stress in their game because it's a pretty stressful game.
Or a lot of bit of toxicity.
Yep. You have to have a thick skin to be able to play it. But that game alone made it so now we have esports competitions where people can win hundreds of thousands of dollars, and Overwatch and Fortnite and PUBG and, League of Legends. And without League of Legends, I don't know which game would have brought it into a forefront where people can actually make money and have a career playing video games. And that's just amazing.
Possibly Overwatch, based on how their league is structured. Because Overwatch was one of my other picks, because I had both of them kind of at the forefront of my mind, because they both did very different things for esports. League brought esports to people who kind of already liked video games, but if you have never played League before and you try to watch a professional League match, you're just going to be sitting there going, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, pretty much.
But,
I think it's really crazy
Overwatch League has, the regional teams, where people can have city-based loyalties, because there's a Philadelphia Overwatch team, there's a London-based Overwatch team, there's one for Vancouver, and it brings that kind of traditional sports aspect to esports, where you're not loyal to a player, you're loyal to your city's team, because I would watch Faker play League no matter what team he was on. I would just follow him around. I'm a fan of Faker, not really a fan of the team he's on. But I'm a fan of the Philadelphia Fusion Overwatch League team, regardless of their roster swaps. It's like a hometown loyalty thing for me.
And it's all those, when we were growing up, and some of us much longer ago than others, adults would be like, you're never going to make a living playing video games, go do something. People actually making a living playing video games, so I kind of it's not me.
Thousands of dollars in salaries, winning millions of dollars in tournaments, and
I'm not winning that money, but I do like to look at them and be like, ha, you can do a living on fucking esports.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
It's because you're griefing everyone in Fallout 76. They're all making money, and you're like, I'm gonna just fuck
I
you
know.
up.
I'm just this annoying person running around trying to Tesla them. Oh, right. Anara, that's a great segue into yours before we steal any more of yours.
Yep.
What are your big games?
Being stolen. Because League was the biggest one for me, because it really did make esports in the global stage possible. Because it was just this weird Korean thing for a while. The Koreans played StarCraft. And everybody just kind of ignored it. There were there's always been a Call of Duty scene, but even in the esports scene, nobody really takes those tournaments nearly as seriously as things like League or Overwatch or CSGO or StarCraft. There's not really as much money or prestige on the line in Call of Duty. Partially because they play with controllers, which makes the whole esports community side-eye them a whole lot. It's not that, no, mouse and keyboard is just the objectively best way to control a character particularly in shooters.
Yeah.
Just because you have much more precision and accuracy available to you. You can make much smaller movements with a mouse than you can with a joystick. There's no dead space, no dead zone on a mouse. You move the mouse and the cursor moves. It's part of why, in Overwatch, they've made it impossible on console to play with a mouse and keyboard without buying, a $200 adapter, because they think it's unfair. It's basically cheating to, go on console where everyone's playing with controllers and plug in a mouse and keyboard.
Fair.
Because you have an unfair advantage that's not available to other people.
Unless they've got $200.
But I guess, my other ones were... Sif took one of mine too, Persona 5, but I think I can go a little bit more in-depth into why that was one of them for me. It made people like JRPGs again.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's true.
I have never played a Persona game, and I've seen tons of clips for them, and they look really neat. So, can I play Persona 5 without playing 1 through 4?
Yep, there are basic themes that are connected, but the actual stories don't really have anything to do with each other. It's all like theming and like these weird like heaven and hell sort of themes and that sort of thing. Don't play it around like people who are afraid of like really weird sexual imagery. Mara exists, and Mara is a big penis demon.
Oh, my favorite kind of demon.
Yep, it's literally so as you like make the persona better. The like first form of Mara is like just like a little like head of a penis sticking out of sludge, basically, and it turns into like this big penis on a wagon.
So
I'm not even
make
kidding.
the penis bigger throughout the game. That's
Yeah, to get the most powerful version of that persona. It's really hilarious.
Do you feel it, Sakura?
It made JRPGs like something
blue
people talked
stamina
about again.
potions.
And the amount of
Blue
like
stamina potions.
and the amount
I've
of
got my
like
costume
love
set up
put
now.
into that game. The amount of love they put into that game, just like in general, each of the like all of the menu screens are individually created, and they all have individual separate animations for each screen you swap to. It's like this cool combination art style of like manga and Western comic books. You can tell that the people who made it love it just as much as the people who play it. Up to the point where they were like not letting people post YouTube videos or stream it past a certain point because apparently spoilers will literally kill you.
Oh.
Okay.
But I mean, geez, it's a JRPG that Yahtzee, from the Zero Punctuation guy, liked, and he hates JRPGs like on principle. He doesn't like turn-based combat. He doesn't like things that are very anime. He's like just not a fan. But he loved Persona 5 and put it on like his top 5 games of 2017 list, which I thought was insane. Because I thought hell would freeze over before Yahtzee would give a top 5 to a JRPG. But it's opened the door to, I think, more people playing JRPGs, because it wasn't just popular in this little group of people who already play them. It was popular enough that people who'd never played one before and never enjoyed one before had a lot of fun with it. Despite the fact that it's like 80 to 140 hours long.
Jesus Christ.
It's just the time. Like, this sounds amazing, and penis character sounds brilliant. It totally sounds
I'll
like
post
nice.
a picture of Mara in the Discord server later so y'all can see it. 'Cause
Please
it's
do.
great.
Please do. But
I
I
think
would
Tiggs and I have sorted our Halloween out for the Halloween. All gonna be Mara.
Yeah.
Please, can you do like a classic, the horse thing, where it's like one goes as the front half, one goes as the back half? Like, can you do that? Like one
I don't
goes
know
as
if I
the
want to be the
penis,
balls or the shaft.
one goes as the penis monster, and one goes
Jesus.
as the cart, like that carries said penis monster.
Let's do it.
Jeez.
Let's do it, Llama. At
And let's
least
segue away from penis talk before we get like banned from Twitch.
At least now, if someone calls me a cock, I'll be dressed as one.
My third game, which I have come up with on the fly while staring at my collector's edition, because mine was stolen from me. It's Undertale, which is maybe the best indie game ever made.
Oh.
And if you haven't played it, you should 100. Not the best video game, but the best like indie game, especially in modern times. So many indie games these days feel very samey. And a lot of the newer ones like ape things from Undertale, but it was a game that it took the internet by storm. The fan base is really annoying, but if you can get past the fan base and just play the game and enjoy it for what it is, why do a bunch of skeletons, a fish lady, and a dinosaur lady feel like the most human characters in a video game thus far? Like, it makes you feel things when you do like a true pacifist run, and then you go, oh, to complete this game I have to do the genocide run next. You don't want to. Like, you actively go, do I really want to do this? Because like they're not just like pixels on a screen, they're your friends that you made throughout the course of this game. And they all have individualized personalities. You can date a skeleton in this game. It's amazing.
Bonnie.
But it also has like a lot of things to say about like conflict and war and a lot of like meta narratives that I feel like a lot of people don't really look at, like what friendship really means and how hard it is to maintain relationships like that in the space of adversity. It clearly has some things to say about racism, given that all of the monsters are hated by the humans and were banished to the underground. You know, it has a lot more to say than I think people give it credit for. And it has inspired like an entire new generation of like indie developers to like get out there and make something, because like Undertale was one of the most successful and critically acclaimed games of 2015, and it's not even a AAA title. It's made by like 2 people.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to check this out. I've never heard of that.
I've heard of it.
I've not either.
I've watched a speed run of Undertale before.
Yeah.
How long does a speedrun take?
Let me just bring my video back because the baby is now down for a nap again. I have this, which is the PC Collector's Edition. This is a locket that's also a music box that plays music. This was a gift from a friend of mine because I couldn't find one, and it turns out that he had managed to get a hold of one before they sold out. It comes with like this little book, which is the intro sequence of the game, about the war between the monsters and humans, and like the monsters' banishment. The soundtrack's also in here, and the soundtrack is phenomenal. Highly recommend. But it was a game that impacted me so heavily, and I was kind of blown away by how this game that's just a bunch of pixel art that has a really simplistic story, really, in the end, had such a profound effect on me as a person, and not just me, like thousands and millions of other people who played this game.
Oh, this sounds amazing.
Yeah,
it's really good, and it's not that long. It's like 10 hours.
That's my ideal game.
Yep.
Short attention
span
to win.
I'm not going to spoil anything. You got to go in blind, or it's not going to feel the same. Don't look at anything about it. Don't watch any videos. But also, don't kill anything. Please. I say this as like all of the characters in that game is my friends. Okay.
Shit.
I, to this day, despite being a completionist, have never completed the game because I cannot bring myself to go and play the genocide route where I murder all of my friends.
Yeah, but trophies.
Like, I can't do it. And the game makes you feel bad. I've watched a genocide run, and the game like actively makes you feel bad for killing people.
Wow.
That's like me trying to play any Sith option in any Star Wars game.
You know, there are games where they tell you, like, you can get through this game without killing anything, but they're not really true. Most of those games you can get through without killing, like, major bosses, or you have to kill the major bosses, but you don't have to kill any goons. This is a game where if you play smart and you figure out what you're supposed to do in each boss fight, you can never, ever kill anything. You enter the boss fight and just talk your way out of it. And make a friend along the way. It's like such a beautiful mechanic.
Friends.
Because it's not just, you sneak by things the way you do a pacifist run in like stealth games. You just like sneak around and don't kill anything. You don't kill anything because you make these meaningful connections with these characters.
Sounds cool.
Really
you don't
deep.
want to kill them. I don't want to kill Papyrus. He's a big, sweet, dumb boy who looks kind of like Skeletor, and I love him. I don't want to kill him.
Now looking for this to download.
Yeah.
This is right up Tig's alley, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's on it's on PS4. I think there's a Switch port of it, so you can get it on the Switch, and it's on Steam. I don't know about Xbox. I think there is, but I'm not sure.
Oh, that sounds good. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to put that on my.
So next week, what are you playing, Tiggs? Undertale.
Right? I'm enjoying it.
You'll have to let me know what you think about it, because like I love introducing games that have such a profound effect on me to other people.
Oh, yeah. We'll do a catch up next time and see how we got on with it.
Yeah.
Please don't kill anybody.
I'm gonna stream a genocide run and just kill everybody.
I mean, good luck with that. The final boss fight in the genocide run is like one of the hardest boss fights I've ever done in any video game ever, because it's got a meta narrative of its own. That boss
Oh.
cheats.
I feel
Like
like
he
villains
actively
should
cheats
cheat.
at the game
That's
to
funny.
stop you because you are essentially the most dangerous thing he's ever encountered in his world, and he must stop you. So he literally cheats and breaks systems in the game itself to stop you from murdering everything.
Oh. Undertale's only $10 for us on Sweet.
It's on sale.
Yeah.
Yes, a sale. Lama's favorite thing in the world. A sale.
It's on
Woo.
sale. It's fine.
Good, it's
Oh.
definitely well worth a play. And it was a lot of people's favorite game of the year in 2015 over all of the AAA stuff that released that year. Because I think indie devs as a whole, like if you compare indie developers as a whole to AAA developers, indie devs definitely care a lot more about the quality and the messaging and the things they put out than like big corporate-owned studios do. Not like on an individual dev level, because I'm sure there are individual devs at every AAA company who really love and care about the things they're making, but they're not ultimately in control of what they're making. They make what they're told to make.
The tagline for the game says, Undertale, the RPG where you don't have to destroy anyone.
See, now it's almost a challenge to think, can I stop myself from killing stuff?
You won't be able to,
Yeah,
Llama.
because I mean,
Come
part
on.
of it is like
I'll cry.
you get into
I'll
a
cry
fight,
through the whole
and
thing.
like
I kill
the first
people,
thing you
not
do is
NPCs.
the first thing you do is like try to win the fights, like because that's just what like video games have kind of programmed us to think we need to do. Is we've entered a fight. There's no way out of this except to kill that thing. But Undertale has systems that allow you to enter a fight and then talk your way out of it, or, you know, do things within like because there's like an act selection where you could choose actions or things to say to that character that are not physically attacking them that can get you out of the fight. It'll just make them not want to fight you anymore.
Ooh. Are any of them dancing? I feel like dancing would be my preferred method.
Some of them are
getting out of the
dancing. There is a very sexy robot, and that is all I will say.
Right, no more, no more. We've had too many spoilers.
Sexy
already.
robots and penises,
Yeah.
I'm in.
No, that's Persona 5 of the penis.
Oh, I got them confused. I would have been so disappointed if I played
She got to Where's the penis?
Where's the penis, Sonora?
That would have been a really good Discord chat, though.
Me just being so confused, as normal. Oh, Beardy, how
I
are
hate
you
to
going to
dip
top
out on you
that?
guys early.
Okay.
But I baby. I baby.
Yeah,
fine.
baby's important.
he's-
You gotta
he's-
feed your Tamagotchis.
Yep, I can hear him in the next room doing a scrim, and I just I plan for him to be napping right now, but sometimes that just doesn't work
Eh.
out. I will probably be active in the chat talking about Beardy's selections.
Cool.
Yes, get in the
Yes.
I'm
chat.
Get
always
in the
watching
chat.
Mike Wazowski.
Wow.
Ooh.
Always watching.
Yes, we are.
All right, guys, I'm out
Oh.
of here.
Peace. Thanks. Thanks,
Peace.
Lara.
Bye.
Beardy, how are you gonna top that?
Well, first of all,
Oh,
I'm
or should I go so you can do the
I'm
squares?
just gonna fix the squares ever so quickly.
Celebrity Square fix.
Yeah.
Celebrity Square.
Celebrity square fix. My square's all right. It's just Tiggs and Sif.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm going to talk about mine. So, as I said, I severely misunderstood the question. Because, see, now what happened, right, was I watched a couple of documentaries on Netflix, and I can't remember what they were called, but they were basically about how social media is ruining our brain. And there was just so much information and so much like the world's going to end if you don't turn off your notifications. And I was like, shit, I'm going to have to turn off my notifications. So I did. And then yesterday morning, I was like, I haven't heard from the gamer guys in a while. I'll just, give them a poke, see what's going on. And it's like 7,000 unread messages. Oh, right. Okay, I gotta pick something. And I thought like the generation would be like my generation. Like, how old am I? Like, I've been around the block a few times. So I was like, oh, that's plenty of stuff to pick from. And then when you said right before we went live that it's the gaming console generation or the PC generation, it's like, shit, none of mine are in this one. So I've been thinking on my feet or on my ass, and I reckon probably I'm gonna go with my top game of this generation being BioShock. And I'll tell you why. Because the first time I played that game, it was like playing inside artwork. It was, you could see the care that had gone into it, the beauty of the surroundings, the lighting effects, like everything. I literally just spent half the game screaming because things were chasing me and trying to kill me. But the other half, I spent just walking around looking at stuff. Like even the furniture skins were like, the furniture was nice. Like the artwork on the walls in the game was nice. Like these guys put a lot of effort into it. And it really got me. You know, I really loved the aesthetic look of the game. And then when you start playing the story, it goes into a lot of like really deep themes. Like, you know, what is independence? And, you know, on lots of different levels, you know, are you independent if somebody asks you nicely just in general, or are you independent if somebody's programmed you to say yes to things, or are you independent if you're spending your whole life slaving away towards a capitalistic system? You know, it's like a whole thing, and I absolutely loved it. And I played all the games that the first BioShock game literally took my breath away with how amazingly beautiful it was, and it started my love, really crystallized my love for that sort of aesthetic, like the sort of modern future retro swervy furniture cool thing. I think they call it mid-century modern in designer terms, but I fell in love with it. And then when the second game that I played that's on my list that I absolutely love, no surprise, is Fallout 4. I've loved all the Fallouts, but Fallout 4 was one where I really and the whole future retro themes of you know, everything and how it looked, absolutely loved it. The fact that I could go anywhere, do anything, I didn't have to talk to anybody, I could just go out and kill things in the wilds if I wanted. You know, amazing. I absolutely loved it. And then I bought a house and decorated it to basically BioShock and Fallout without the bomb damage. You know, I want to be super realistic.
Bomb
I remember
in nobody's design style magazine.
Yeah. I remember playing BioShock for the first time and watching the opening sequence where you're in the video and you're coming down, and then the video ends and you're in the same graphics.
And you're like, and
you're in the water, and you're like, I can move now, and this is the game. Holy cow! And then you play it, and then the next like real wow moment I remember that game was you're walking down the hallways and you hear this scraping sound, and you're like, what? And then out of the hallway comes one of the big daddies dragging his drill, and he just slides out, and then he just turns and looks at you, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna die. This is game over right here.
Yeah.
And then you die. So I mean, you know.
Yeah. And then I mean, even in that game, there was the choice, wasn't there? Did you want to play like the good? Ooh, just
do you want to save the little sisters, or do you want to eradicate them?
Bash them in the head with a wrench while they go, "Daddy, no!" Like, who chooses that option? I tried once and I felt so terrible. Beardy. They literally look at you and say, "Daddy, no." I couldn't do it. I tried.
They are evil.
Terrible.
They are evil. Experiment on little girls with overly protective watchdogs. They need to get bopped in the head with a wrench.
I went through the Paragon run and I liberated.
I set them free.
Yeah, so you set them free of their earthly coil.
Yeah. Much quicker too.
Yeah, it is quicker.
Yeah.
And you don't get was it the Adam? Getting
the upgrade.
Yeah, you don't get the stuff to upgrade. But I killed the first couple and felt so terrible. I couldn't do it. Like, I can kill people in games all day long, but I can't kill NPCs. They're so innocent.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
They didn't choose to be in that world.
I know, they were just born here, guys.
The music in BioShock, when you would go through some of the different areas and you would just hear that record playing music in the background, and like you wouldn't be able to hear it super well. And then the way that the game did the what do you want to call it? Variable sound depending on where you were at in the game. And you'd be walking down the hallway and you just hear the slightest bit of the music and you'd get closer and it'd get louder. and you'd turn a corner into a room, and it would just be this old like record playing, and it would be like this time capsule where everything froze in the game before the disaster happened and everything like that. It's such an immersive game. I loved it.
It was literally like playing inside terrifyingly fucked up art. I mean, it was beautiful. In fact, I loved the radios in that game so much. I tried to build my own. I'll post a picture on the I don't know. I'll just post it everywhere. People will find it, I'm sure.
Be on Twitter
but
later
I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it'll be on Twitter. It'll be fine. But I fell in love with the style of it. And that was the first game that made me feel like that. So definitely, out of all the games that I was going to say tonight, I think BioShock and Fallout, the franchises, are top of the list all day long.
I got to pick those back up again now. That's what you're making me think about.
Yes. All right, Beardy. We're all in squares again.
We're all in squares. We're all
Yay!
tidied up into our boxes. Cool.
So you're last but not least. What is on your list?
So I'm going to start with my runners-up first. So the first runner-up is probably going to be a bit of a surprise to everybody in this here chat, given what I said earlier. But it's going to be Fortnite.
I am surprised.
Yeah, so the reason I'm saying this is because a little bit like what Bot said and Inara said about League and Star Citizen, was it 2 or StarCraft 2?
StarCraft 2.
That's
yep.
the one.
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen.
That needs to be it.
So kind of either reinvigorating or adding new life into esports and stuff. I think Fortnite is the one that really set battle royales off, and I think that's done a lot of good and bad for the industry as a whole, in terms of monetization and loot boxes and kind of where things go in the future. So I think that's a very interesting game to look at. And then the second one is Resident Evil 2, the remake.
That was too scary. I couldn't play that.
So the reason I went for that one was purely based on how they handled it as a reimagining or a remake, and I think it's a real good example to any developer looking at bringing an old franchise back and kind of giving a bit of new life into it, of how to put something like that together. And I think it was just great. Did a really good job there. But my big one is
Drum roll.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes. So
Controversial.
Again, Last of Us was a game that I only picked up not I only picked up, but I completed it maybe 2 or 3 days before the second one came out. First time around when I played it, I think I might have said it before on one of the podcasts. Didn't get it, didn't enjoy it, didn't think it was the kind of game for me, then managed to grow up and enjoy it. And I think The Last of Us 2 has some really interesting conversations about, as a consumer of this media, are we ready to be able to kind of tell stories like that? There was a lot of kind of rage or conversation about the theme of it and whether mature themes are actually ready to be in video games, which I think is a really interesting conversation to be had. And then also, again, conversations about somebody's art and them having a vision for that art that maybe doesn't necessarily line up for what you want for that character. And I really think that they handled some of the relationship stuff in there really well, with like Ellie and her being a lesbian, and with I forgot the character's name now.
Abby.
The kind of dynamic that they had, where you kind of spend the game doing one thing for one purpose and then see the flip side of that and seeing where that leads for the other person, and also between Abby and the kid. I forgot the kid's name. Bear with me 2 seconds.
Kid number 1.
Kid A.
That's how I name children.
Yes. Kid A, Kid B.
It's an interesting side note for Last Among Us 2 because the story changed pretty drastically for a lot of people, and a lot of the community didn't like it very much, which is sad because people should learn to adapt to changes in story and stuff like that. But one of the voice actors for Abby, I believe, is Laura Bailey. She's also part of the Critical Role D&D podcast thing, which has become a huge thing.
Oh.
Yep. And I think Ashley Williams also, who is she was in Thor and a couple of other games and stuff. They're into it. And what's really sad is that Laura Bailey is the one who played the voice for the most controversial character in the second version, and she took so much online flack for it. Like, people were blowing up her Twitter. They were saying awful comments, and like the people who were trying to defend her, like, she's not the one that writes the story. She's not the one that decides the production for it or where it goes. She's just a voice actor, and if you can't separate the voice actor that plays your character with the game you're playing, then you probably shouldn't be playing games.
Yeah.
And
she received death threats and all sorts on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, it
it's
was
sad.
just beyond ridiculous. And yeah, I just think that Last of Us at the end of the PS3 showed us, reminded me of how I felt about Metal Gear Solid 1 when I played it back on the PS1, of playing a game that made me realize that a game could be more than Pac-Man or Mario or something like that. It could tell me a story, it could be immersive, and it could be engaging. And Last of Us first one did the same thing at the end of PlayStation 3 generation, and I think the second one's done the same thing again at the end of this generation as well. So hats off to Naughty Dog. They just keep cracking out amazing games.
Oh,
Whether
I
you
desperately
like
need a
them or not.
PlayStation now.
Whether you all like them or not.
I think Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be the next game that's going to be one of those groundbreaking ones. I really think so.
Is that the one that's going to set everybody's computers on?
Yeah, probably. It's the one that Keanu Reeves is a part of, and the character creations for it is supposed to be next level character creation.
Oh, I'll spend days on it.
You can customize your genitalia.
Yes,
Everything.
you can.
Could you
I've
imagine?
always wanted to do that.
Could you imagine?
Just move a little slider back and forth, on the screen.
Can you imagine the loot boxes
Like
they'll do for that? Loot box genitalia. Ooh,
You get the
surprise.
What were you saying,
Coming back to The Last of Us Part 2, what I like about that is that it includes like every type of gamer with like disabilities as well. I don't see that many games do that at all.
No.
There's not that many settings, and The Last of Us 2, I think, was one of the few that did that this generation as well.
The accessibility options in that game is phenomenal. Like the things that you can turn on and off and change text, like they did a really good job with that, and I don't think that receives as much credit as it should do.
It's amazing.
Every game should have that, shouldn't it? That should be built-in standard, like level 1. This is what we do, because everybody needs to be able to experience these stories. That's the whole fucking point of the storytelling, is to reach the audience. And if you're excluding large parts of your audience just because you can't add a feature in or change a text size or the contrast of it, that's ridiculous, and it's poor storytelling. A good storyteller adapts to their audience and tells the audience the story. And if you're only telling it to half of them, you need to try again.
Well, part of the problem, though, is that a lot of the gaming community, what we're really that's the word I was looking for, the gaming community is standard, white, cisgender males. And, I mean, yes, there are tons of people all over the representation, spectrum that are gamers, but up until, I don't know, the last 5 years, game developers didn't really make games. I mean, if you were a girl gamer, your choices were like Barbie's Castle Adventure. You know what I mean? Every other game was geared towards standard cisgendered males. And
I always had bikini armor in every game. Only
exactly.
Needed protection.
It's like if female character, if male characters are supposed to be the super duper strong ones in games, why do the women only have to wear bikinis? Because they're stronger, actually.
Right.
But the representation,
like bulletproof abs.
Yeah, there you go. They are like Wonder Woman, where the brassiere deflects bullets. And
what do you mean? My brassiere does that, bitch.
Yeah, I don't even need a brassiere. I just got the chest there, But we're moving into a new generation where games need a lot more representation to be able to capture the full audience. people are going through a lot more questioning now than they ever have before. The internet helps reinforce them to be able to look what communities and what labels they feel comfortable with. And so the game developers, as a media form that is just going to get more and more intense as time goes by, especially with, virtual headsets and things like that, they really need to adapt to it. And, another example, and it's amazing how toxic the community that doesn't want changes. Like, I never realized how conservative, like, not in a political standpoint, just in a I don't want things to change standpoint of gamers that are out there. Like, example, I'll bring it back to like D&D because I really love Dungeons and Dragons because I'm a big dork. And a character in one of the major podcasts, the Critical Role podcast, they recently introduced something called a magic wheelchair for it was a combat wheelchair for one of the different characters in the show. So they brought it in as kind of a sub theme for the particular episode, but then a lot of the gamers who really felt that finally there was some representation for people with disabilities, they put in like all this artwork for it. They showed what it would look like. People made little 3D printing mock-ups of the chair. And it was supposed to be just this, it's really cute. And it's supposed to be this great, bring people together so everybody feels like they're a part of it. And then the toxic community of people are like, that's not realistic. I don't want that in my game. And it's like,
demons aren't realistic. Fuck off.
I know, and that was the counterpoint is you're playing a game with magic and goblins and dragons, and you're worried about realism, and you don't think anybody in the medieval ages ever lost a leg or anything like that,
The only real thing about Dungeons and Dragons is dungeons; they exist.
Yes, they do.
Beardy's been in enough of them.
We're open 8:00. No, so. We really need to, as a community, be able to be a lot more open and try to push back that super toxic culture, because that toxic culture isn't going to be what brings our games into something where everyone feels like they be part of the gamer community.
100%. And I think it's really important as well when you have a game like Last of Us Part 2 with a strong female lesbian character to be the person that's kind of fighting that fight for those people that don't have that anywhere else, because in the majority of games your gay or queer representation comes in the form of RPGs with choice systems. It's never this is that who this character was and who they've been through the entire plot of their upbringing and everything else. It's a choice that you make as a player. It's the difference between having
it's that choice between having a character backstory that shows the journey and really tells the story versus you can, a romanceable player sidekick sort of thing that anybody can romance them. That's not the same. Like that's
not the same, because if anyone can romance them, then she's just easy.
Well, it's like Mass Effect has all the different romances that you can be a part of, just like Dragon Age, and there is some like different LGBT style, relationships of varying sorts you can be. But they even with Mass Effect though, even with all the great storytelling, it feels a tiny bit tacked on. Like they're just trying to appease a certain audience, and they did a great job because at the time that Dragon Age and Mass Effect, that was kind of cutting edge for being able to have.
Totally. That was so like it really blew up whenever people discovered that they could do that. The only one thing I will say about it is I kept Caden and leave Caden alone. Right? So I kept Caden. So I want to romance him because he saved him originally instead of the chick. What did you call her? So I was like, oh, that would be a lovely little story, like after all these years they get together. And then the scene happened and the dialogue was fucking dodge as anything. It was like so awkward. And I was like, oh, this wasn't a love story. They've just hooked up. Oh my god, they've just hooked up. No, they're supposed to love each other.
It's space. You don't know when you're going to die next. You just got to have quick hookups. That's just how it is.
In space, nobody
get it while you can. That's the tagline. In space, no one can hear you moan.
Back to Bot's point of it feeling a little bit tacked on, I think it feels tacked on, not because it is tacked on, but because in every other aspect we don't have something that's front and center, a gay person running the charge as the lead character. So anything else just feels tacked on. Like,
Well, on that point, I mean, like, people have been playing games where the main character is a standard, normal, quote unquote, normal, cisgendered male in a million games, like literally most of the gaming world. And everyone who is LGBT of any sort has had to play those characters and swallowed it. And you don't see people, you know, bitching and complaining about it on the internet. Like, I've played, like, Mario, you know, like, I don't complain that Mario isn't, you know, gay or anything like that. But now that there are some games like Last of Us 2, right? That's the game.
Yeah. But I like the mashup that you've come up with.
Yeah, too many games. But, I mean, it's amazing when there are games where you have to play the character and they're an LGBT themed character. The amount of toxicity where people are just like, I don't want to play this game. Well, first of all, you don't have to buy it. And second of all, the rest of us would have to be playing normal straight characters for our entire lives so you can handle one game with one character that happens to have a love story with somebody who's the same gender. Oh, big deal.
I hope it opens the floodgates for that sort of stuff. I hope it's like, because you just need one game to like start all the controversy, and then it tends to pave the way for other developers going, well, do you know what? Even though there was a lot of controversy around that, that was a cracking game. They told a really good story there.
It's going to need to be a AAA studio because there are so many companies that are not going to be willing to lose the money. Because if a company like Bethesda or BioWare decided to do a game like that, they're going to put millions of dollars into the development, pay all those people, cross their fingers, hope for the best, put it out, and then a bunch of toxic jerks are going to bomb their ratings constantly until they just lose a ton of money. And then they're like, well, we're never going to do that again because our audience doesn't want to buy it and they don't like it. So,
well, BioWare did, was it Dragon Age? One of your companions, Dorian. Oh, he had an amazing side quest where you go with him to tell his father that he's gay and like you support him as he comes out.
Is that the elf one? Is he an elf? I can't remember. I thought he was.
No, he's a big strapping lad. He's quite hot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Giggity.
But I mean, yeah, I think they did a good job there. I mean, granted, it was a companion character, it's not the main character. And in terms of romance in that game, it is basically you have the romance options, but it's not part of the whole story. So yeah, you're right. I think it being done by a AAA studio as main characters and just getting people to see a story from a point of view that isn't the standard, you know, that you can see things from other people's points of view. Maybe that's what's wrong with society today. We need more games with different types of characters so we can learn empathy with other points of view.
Yeah.
There you go. I fixed the world with video games.
Ta-da!
And that's the end of the episode.
You know, and the easiest way to get all the male gamers into it that are the standard ones is just make the character a female lesbian who is super hot, and then just make you only be able to play the female lesbian, and they're going to be like, well, I don't like this, but I kind of like it, so maybe I can put up with it.
As long as you give them a third-person view and they can watch the butt, they don't care.
Exactly. Yep.
Let's not beat around the bush. Every guy I know, he's like, oh, I like playing the female characters because I can watch their butt the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
To be fair, I like
also
playing
like
as handsome male characters because I get to check them out through the majority of the game. So, you know.
And I'm an equal opportunity enjoyer of all butts.
Oh, butts for everybody.
Butts for everyone.
Isn't that be our hashtag for this episode? Like the subtitle, butts for everybody.
Everyone. That'd be amazing.
Okay. Well, I think that's the end of our main topic, which actually we didn't have that many clashes, which is ridiculous considering how little prep we did tonight.
Yeah.
I think just shows that we can wing it pretty well.
Yeah, we don't need to prepare, guys. We're fine.
I'm really glad it was a surprise, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's been some good chats about very different games this evening. It's pretty cool. Or today, or whatever time zone you're in that you're watching.
I don't know.
Time is
8
now
o'clock
flat
here.
circle. COVID.
A bunch of endorsements for games that I want to try now. So.
Right? I've got a whole list now.
Oh, that's what you were
And I
doing.
got
You
my
were writing
Halloween-
the list down.
Yeah, I have a board on the wall because I just write shit. Because I have no memory. I'm like a goldfish. I think you guys have told me it was some game you mentioned like 8 times, and I keep going, oh, I'm gonna play that, and then I forget what it's. I didn't write it down, so I don't know what it is. Right. Pasting. So we've done that bit. Now, I think this is actually going to be hard, I think, because now I want to know, what game do you recommend for our viewers, stroke listeners? Don't stroke the listeners, Tiggs.
Stoke the listeners.
Free strokes for everyone.
New hashtag.
STOKE, Stoke.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
So after
Follow
all
me
of
on
those
Twitter.
amazing games, what do you recommend for people? Cliff,
I
you
recommend
get to go
Hades.
first.
Ooh,
Hades.
Hades.
Yeah,
I want to
That,
play
I
that.
haven't heard of that one.
Yeah,
It looks
Hades
great.
By Supergiant Games. All their games are amazing. I play all of them really, but Hades is really good. It's a roguelike type of game, so it's kind of up my alley because I love like Dark Souls and all those other games. So I recommend that one. It's beautiful. The music is amazing. They do really amazing music in my opinion. Darren Korb, I think that's his name. He does the music. And the art style is so pretty. It's like so yeah, I love it.
My sister's and her boyfriend are playing Hades right now, and they sent me a couple of video clips of it, and the game looks amazing. I actually can't wait to pick it up. I love Greek mythology, so
Yeah.
the whole game being based around it in a really awesome action-packed game, I'm really looking forward to trying it out.
It's amazing. It's also recently came out on Switch, so it's available on there on Switch and PC.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great. In my
I'm
opinion.
gonna need to buy a Switch.
Yes.
Good luck.
Do it.
I've just got approval for a PlayStation.
Yeah, no, you'll get away with a Switch
It was
as
on
well.
sale.
It was on sale,
It's
yeah.
on sale. I went downstairs earlier and dropped a hint. I might need a new PC. My laptop's struggling. Babe.
It might be an unpopular opinion, but I think every true gamer has a Nintendo console somewhere.
I've got
somewhere-
old ones.
Somewhere in the
Yes,
depths of their
exactly.
collection.
Somewhere that they can access, because you need to have Nintendo just accessible because there's certain things that they started that that they do incredibly well.
Well, Nintendo is a part of people's childhood even more than like Sony and their PlayStation and Microsoft and their Xbox. Because I mean, Xbox didn't even capture the first generation of gamers. It was all Nintendo, Sega, and then eventually PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one of those Sega Genesis ones with like the what did they call it? The satellite? Like you could play online basically and download games. It was like the first time you could do that I could do that anyway. Oh,
Did
man,
anybody
I
have
played Echo the Dolphin for hours.
Did anybody have a Dreamcast at all?
No, I didn't get a Dreamcast.
Power Stone
Really?
and Crazy Taxi on Dreamcast was amazing.
I used to love. I forgot which Sonic it was, but it was Sonic, and the memory cards had like a little LCD screen in them, and then you could put like these little things.
Sonic Adventure.
From
Sonic
The little-
Adventure.
into the.
Was it the one with the little chibi characters? The little Chow or whatever?
Yeah, and turn it
Yeah,
into like a
Chows.
Tamagotchi. Yeah, that's the
Yep,
one.
the Chows were fun.
Yeah.
They're cute. Yeah.
Sonic Adventure, that was, I think.
Was it?
My brothers had that.
Had good music to it too.
Ooh. Beardy, what's your recommendation?
I don't really know,
Singing.
to be honest with you. Yeah, singing is very good. I'm probably going to say that my recommendation is to check out any of the games that I mentioned if you've not already played them. So Last of Us Part 2, Resident Evil 2, or Fortnite, because, yeah, why not? That easy.
I have to admit, I've never played Fortnite. I've seen it. I'm also not a fan of Battle Royale stuff. I only play it in Fallout because I have to get points sometimes for whatever weekly challenge there is. But even then, I just hide in a bush until the timer runs down. I'm a bush baby.
Bush, baby.
Okay. But
Well, all the games on here that we've been talking about. Since Inara's not on, I'll plug Undertale for her because for $10, it looks awesome. And from what I've watched, a lot of the games done quick, like in the speedrun community, they love Undertale, and it's a very complex game. And I'm gonna have to try it out myself. Other than that, I don't know. I'd say people should keep trying Spellbreak, and that's just selfish because I really want the game to do well and to keep having more people to it, because I think if it gets to the esports level, it might actually be a lot of fun to watch people play that game at the professional level.
Yeah, because it's just gorgeous. It is
It
gorgeous.
is gorgeous. The combat's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mhm.
It's like you're watching an anime.
Yep.
But
Pretty
you're
much.
actually playing it.
Yep.
And you got some kick-ass fart power. I mean,
Yeah.
All right.
Exploding
I'm
fart
putting it
power.
on the list
yeah.
Circle it.
with a circle. Done.
And it's
Spellbreak. I mean, to
free.
be fair, you had me at farting power, but then I keep forgetting because I didn't write it down. It's written down though.
Can't be
Oh,
free.
okay. Tigs.
Oh, I think.
I want to go last.
Oh, I think. Well, obviously any of the games that we've said, but also Spellbreak, because I hate battle royale games. Absolutely hate them. Avoid them like the plague. Me and Sif played last night for a few hours. I played a solo match. Won my first solo match. I was like, oh yeah, these bitches didn't know what they're doing.
You were so proud on the chat. You're like, I won it.
I know. I did a thing successfully on an online game where I had to kill all their players. I was like, yes. So yeah, no, I was really proud of myself. And then me and Sif played, and before I knew it, we've been playing for like 3 hours, and it felt like 5 minutes. We just had so much fun, and it is so much fun. You get to go shopping, and then you get to go and like fuck people up, or like I'm really bad, so Sif. None of you guys noticed in the chat last night that I says, quick, take a picture of the damage that you've done and my damage. Sif's damage in our match that we played was 500 or 480 something.
I don't remember.
The damage that I did was 69.
That sounds about right.
The love number.
You know, the pacing for that game, though, is so great. And, you know, if any Spellbreak mods are watching, you know, Beardy, hint, hashtag Spellbreak, you know, like, get a hold of us. Well,
we're open to sponsorship.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, yes, we are.
Brought to you by Spellbreak.
Yes, ma'am.
And then be like a graphic of somebody like flying up and having their little gas cloud ignited, and me just being super happy.
Yes. Yes. What's yours?
Well, I'm gonna pick a game I haven't actually played yet for reasons. So I've been playing Tell Me Why, the narrative-driven game by Don't Nod Studios, and that's the one with the trans male characters, the main character. And again, it's not just a tacked on thing with this story, you know, it's very nuanced, it's very part of the story that's being told. And it's a really well told story so far in chapters 1 and 2. Chapter 3 just dropped on Game Pass the other day, and I've downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet because I was trying to finish Perils of Gorgon. So I'm gonna play that this. I'm really looking forward to it because, you know, they are like episodes. You get through the story, and then like at the end there's this cliffhanger, and you're like, oh god, what's gonna happen next? And I've been literally like just waiting for the next one to come out so I can play it, because it's left chapter 2 left you at such a cliffhanger. I need to know where it's going and how it's. I don't even know if the third one's the end. Like, is it 5 or 6 like the other ones, and I've just got to wait for those to come out, and I just get the first 3. I'm gonna be so disappointed if there's more that I have to wait like a year. But I'm so excited to play that game. So I highly recommend anyone that hasn't played that, play it. It's free on Xbox Game Pass. First 3 chapters are out. So well done. And it takes place in Alaska. And the scenery is just fucking gorgeous. It is absolutely like I said to my wife, I was like, I kind of want to move to Alaska. She's like, we're not moving to Alaska based on a video game. Like, it's on sale. It's on sale. Yeah, so I'm not moving to Alaska, unfortunately. Stay here in sunny England with all my lockdowns. But yeah, that's the game that I recommend. And I think that's it for us. That is our episode for today. And I know we've had quite a bit of chatting happen chat because everybody loves a good chat. So that's good. Thank you, everybody. We
It's nice to see y'all.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's nice to see the interaction because sometimes it's just us talking shit. It's nice to remember there's actually people watching us.
Listening, yeah.
I don't know why sometimes.
Shout out to Clunge Muffin. That's my brother.
That is the best name ever.
Plunge Muffin?
I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt.
He's a legend, isn't he? A legend.
Yes!
Absolute legend.
We need to start coming up with some Gamers Assemble merchandise so we can wear it around and promote it and such.
Can we
Some
put Clunge
cafe
Muffin
press
in there?
stuff. There you go.
Like me and Tiggs as Mara.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm there.
Well, the fun isn't quite ending. We're gonna take a break for about 45 minutes or so, and then we're gonna go live again, and we're gonna be playing the
Among
game.
Us.
That's
Among
it,
Us.
Among Us. Just all these games we're mashing up in our own minds. So we're gonna be playing Among Us. I have exactly 30 seconds experience in this game, and I didn't like it, and I turned it off. So this should be fun. I think Tiggs, you haven't played it at all. Everybody
Spoiler
else
alert.
kind of knows.
Beardy is the imposter. So
I'm gonna vote Beardy off every time.
Yeah.
So give us 45 minutes or so. You'll see us go live again. Come in, have a watch. We'll be playing. Feel free to take a potty break, throw some food at your face, whatever you need to do. Thank you so much to everybody who's been watching. It's been a blast. Please feel free to like and comment on all of our different media platforms. We do engage some people far too much. Tiggs, I'm looking at you. Can't be trusted, that guy. Cannot be trusted. Make sure you show us some love on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Thank you, and good night.
Good night. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.